So I'm back today to try to answer the question of why did Donny go back to Darian's in the last episode of Baby Reindeer? So I'm a therapist and I can assure you that things might not be what they seem to be in this scenario. And I've had more than one person in my comment section ask me about this, so I'm going to try to walk you through this. Now, a lot is left up for interpretation, and I've definitely got my interpretation. I think that his intention for going back to Darian's could have been to confront him. This is at a time in his life when he had just found his manuscript, and the last page of the manuscript read, "You're going to go far," and Darian had written this. So he could have felt like going back from a place of power in order to somehow prove himself and prove to Darian that he was at a different place in his life and show him that he had moved past the abuse and made something of his life. Now, once he actually gets to Darian's house, I can tell you what is probably happening in his brain because he is having a trauma response. So as soon as the door opens, Donny isn't smiling or anything. It's not like he's happy to see Darian. He looks really nervous. And as soon as Donny walks into the house, I'm sure that his brain is remembering every single horrible thing that happened to him there. What's happening in his brain and body is that his internal alarm system is going off. I know he looks calm, but I can assure you, because I work with clients who have trauma and I study trauma, I can assure you that his heart is pounding, his breathing is unsteady, he's probably dissociating some, which is a form of just blanking out, and the brain just sort of shuts down. So he is in survival mode. In this particular situation, he is not going to be able to think rationally. His brain is remembering, this is not a safe place, this is not a safe person, I need to be out of here. And his body language very much indicates that he is under stress. His shoulders are hunched, he's looking down, he doesn't make much eye contact, and he really is in danger. Darian is an abuser. He's a horrific manipulator. So then Donny just says what he needs to say to be agreeable and get out of there. It's like a fawning response. And as he leaves, his body language doesn't present as somebody who's happy that he got a job or relieved. He's actually in panic mode. And he then goes around the corner and he starts to panic. And his body and brain, having just been back to basically alone, finally gets to breathe and let go of that stress. So we see him gasping for air and starting to tear up and break down. Then from here, I think what we see is that he feels so much shame about not being able to stand up for himself, he starts to just spiral into depression. Then what does he do? He turns to Martha's voicemails for reassurance and validation, because Martha is the one person he could always rely on for validation and to make him feel special. So I don't think that ultimately he went to work with Darian. I don't think he wanted to say yes to that job. It was just his trauma response. Also, I could be wrong about all this. A lot is left up to interpretation. So just let me know what you think.